Hi dear souls, and welcome to a new Pico card reading. This is Celeste, and with this reading I am bringing forth a message from your divine team. This means a message from your soul, from your spirit guides, from your star family, from your ancestors, or from the beneficial influences in your life in the spiritual realms. This message is about your spiritual path, and it will bring new perspectives, higher perspectives on what is happening right now in your life, to the process through which you are going right now, and about also your spiritual inner life. My experience with this reading is personal, so I am not going to speak about much here, but mainly it helped me redirect my energies, learn how to better balance my energies, learn where I was exaggerating with something, and how to bring back more energy into my body, and how to balance out what I do during the day. And that was pretty helpful because I was exaggerating in a certain direction, and that direction I loved, but when I exaggerate, I can drain myself. So this message was pretty clear about where to direct my energy and how to balance out so I can feel better and have better energy levels throughout the day. This is a detailed reading, so please take your time, re-listen as many times as you feel the need. The better you integrate the information, the easier it will be for you to use it. The clearer it is, the more useful it will be. To get the best out of your readings and learn what's the key to clarity and how to work with the reading, then you can watch the videos in the playlist Get the Best Out of Your Readings, link in the description box. To remind yourself of the main points, listen to the video section named How to Work with the Reading. If you are new to Pico card readings, then let me explain how this works. If you are not new, this will remind you and help you better understand the readings. This is an introduction, but if you desire to find out the key to clarity and how to make Pico card readings work for you, then I invite you to check out the video named The Key to Make Pico card Readings Work for You, link in the description box. This is a general reading with a personal touch because you get to choose between these 4 piles. I'm reading for a group and for a dominant energy. If you are close to the dominant frequency, then most things will resonate. If you are not, then some things will resonate. You will need to pick and choose what works for you and let all other things go. Do not expect this to be like a personal reading, although sometimes it may feel this way. Try not to take things literally and to let the information sit with you for a while. The actual guidance will come from your divine self. Let the guidance arise from within. Remember that you have free will and no reading can actually bind you. If uncomfortable feelings or judgment come to the surface or you get triggered somehow, remember that this is a general reading and I usually recommend that you let them go because they might not be about you. If they are intense and you still feel that they are about you, then this is an opportunity for you to work with them. By working with the uncomfortable issues, you grow and expand in consciousness. After you choose your pile, you can go into the description box and find the timestamps so that you can jump straight to your reading. You can choose one pile or more. Take into account that you may not find the appropriate reading for you from the first time. In this case, just try another pile. Sometimes you may not find a pile that speaks to you, and this means there may not be a message for you in this reading at this time. Let's discuss a bit about how to get the best out of this reading. If you wish to go in depth with this topic, then you will find in the description box an entire playlist with videos about this subject, like for example how these readings work, what's the key to clarity, how to work with them and get all the benefits, how to choose a pile, and others. Each reading has the potential to help you, but your action will also be needed. By integrating and clearly understanding the message, you will help yourself by making the information work for you in a beneficial way. During the reading, my voice, my state, represents the energy being exposed through the reading and not necessarily my own natural state. Sometimes my voice will express many vibrations all at once, and this may prove to be uncomfortable. Some readings may get you confused because of the liminal space I'm working from, the energy explored, and because many times the information may not be offered in a linear way. Some readings may trigger you or activate uncomfortable feelings and judgments. This is a general reading, so I invite you to focus only on what resonates and let everything else go. If you find that you cannot do this and they are intense, then remember that this is a great opportunity for you to notice these triggers, these feelings and judgments, and work with them to understand their message. I have my own language, so even if for me the message may be clear, for you it might not be, or it may take some time. By working with the reading, you will arrange it and order it so you may clearly understand it. Working with the reading may also be fun, not only work. Clarity comes with proper integration and time. You can do this by taking notes, making a summary, taking your time and contemplating on the visions and questions, using the exercises if there are any mentioned. Re-listening will always help you better integrate the information. When you re-listen, you will understand new things, new details, and new perspectives. Sometimes re-listening is strange. It is like you have never listened before, although you did. This happens to me too, and most of the times is very exciting. These are some ideas to get you started, but you may receive more according to what you need. So take your time with this. The clearer it is, the more useful it will be. And clarity comes with order and integration. The structure for this reading is as follows. We have 2 tarot cards here for the main message. Then we have what is important on your spiritual path right now and what is not important on your spiritual path. And we will end this with a few affirmations. Now let's choose your pile. If you would like to understand in depth the process of choosing a pile and what may influence your choice, then you are invited to watch the video named How to Choose Your Pile, link in the description box. First, take a few normal breaths, come back to yourself and center. To ease the state, I'm going to quickly guide you. Relax and get comfortable. Feel your body and notice the tensions. Let go of the tensions slowly and become soft. Clear your mind and your emotional field, ground and stabilize your field, strengthen your auric protection and safety. Strengthen and stabilize. Strengthen and stabilize. Strengthen and stabilize. Feel safe within your field. Imagine a sphere of light, any color you desire, around your body and feel safe within. If you cannot imagine, it is okay. Just feel the contours and the energy of your body and feel connected and safe within. Let's take a few deep breaths together. 1, 2, 3, 'Now open yourself to receive the reading in a way that is useful for you. Ask that you get clarity and that you hear what is meant for you. Now that we are ready, let's choose your pile. And for pile number 1, we have this citrine crystal. For pile number 2, we have this purple agate. For pile number 3, we have this flower jasper. For pile number 4, we have this green serpentine. After you have seen up close all of the piles, let yourself be called towards the one or the ones you find most attractive. Go with the feeling and your intuition. You can use this exercise to hone your intuition. You may be attracted to one pile or more. You may be attracted to none. Please take into account that you may not find the right pile for you from the first time. In this case, just try again. Choose another pile. Sometimes you may find that none of the piles have messages that speak to you, and that is okay. In this case, there may not be a message for you in this reading at this time. Now take your time and choose your pile. Hi pile 1, welcome to your reading. You've chosen this citrine. Immediately what I feel here is that there are many ways to tell a story. We have many perspectives to see the same thing. And there are so many ideas that can help you, but others can also hinder you in how you see things. How you see things in your life is so important because those perspectives help you create your life and also bring meaning into your life and influence your connections, your relationships, your intentions for the future. So the way you look at life in general, it is very important. And this is a strong message coming through for all of you, pile 1. That there are many stories for the same event. And your story matters. And the way you see things matters and influences you. And if you change the way you see things in a beneficial way, then you will have more beneficial consequences. But if you change the way you see things in a detrimental way for you, then you can bring detrimental consequences in your life. So it is important how you see, how you think about situations in your life. And this is not about positive thinking. Sometimes positive thinking can actually blind us to the truth. And it is like positive thinking and negative thinking are extremes, and they are usually not beneficial. If we are in the extreme of positive thinking, we are blinding ourselves, we have false hopes, and we create illusions and fantasies. And when we are in the other extremes, the negative thinking, then we can create catastrophic events or attract things in our lives, influences that are not beneficial, that can ruin projects for us, that can delay things that are beneficial for us, that can create such a heavy environment around us, and we can feel lost, we can feel in so much pain and suffering in that environment. So this has come as a direct message for you to begin this reading. And I also have a vision, and then we will look at the cards together. Today with this reading, I am bringing forward messages from your divine team. This includes your soul, your spirit guide, your star family, your ancestors, and all other beneficial influences in your life, in your spiritual life. Okay, now let's see the vision to complete the picture that we are beginning with right here. And what I see is a bunch of eggs in a basket. And these eggs are ready to hatch. But there's nobody there to take care of them, and this nest is becoming cold. So the eggs don't have the warmth, the love they need to properly hatch, and they feel abandoned and lost. They feel that someone needs to come to help them hatch. Someone needs to come to bring them the courage, the love, the warmth, to facilitate the hatching, cracking the shell open. Because they kind of feel helpless in a way, abandoned, and they have a loss of courage and belief, and they don't even try to crack the shell by themselves. So what I am understanding here is that you are ready to crack some boundaries, some limits in your lives. But you're in this state of waiting for something to come and help you, or give you permission to do this, facilitate this cracking of the shell for you, helping you, encouraging you, giving you the support that you need to feel okay to cracking your shell. Now, these boundaries, these limits, They were beneficial limits for a long time in your lives. They helped you feel secure so you can grow inside the egg and become powerful enough to come out. So these boundaries have been like a mother to you, like a father, always taking care that you're protected and supported. But right now they've become like a prison, and you need to crack them open. But the thing is, what I feel here is that the memories are keeping you from cracking this shell open, because you have memories attached to this shell, and they are beneficial memories. You remember as yourself being that hopeless being inside the egg, and this shell supporting you, protecting you. And these memories are keeping you from cracking the shell. You feel that you cannot do this because you love this shell. It is comfortable and it has been your home for such a long time. And it feels painful to do this, to leave it behind. And also because you do not know what's beyond the shell, what's happening out there. You are coming forward into a new world with new possibilities, with new ideas and intentions. And this is also a bit scary for you. Now let's connect this with what I received as a message in the beginning of the reading. Because you being in the shell, you have a certain perspective with which you've grown inside the shell. And that perspective needs to be changed. Because you are outgrowing this shell. You are maturing. You are expanding in consciousness. You are cracking open your old protections, and this may feel so vulnerable because you don't know what's out there, and you are becoming like a baby in this new world. And this is why you need that support. This is why you feel that you need that support and love and care. But the thing is, you will find that support, but after you crack the shell open, you will not be able to see that support. The people that are waiting for you to crack the shell open, and they are on the other side of it, they are encouraging you. But in your perspective, that may sound like a nightmare, or that may sound in so many different ways. This is why it is important to change the way you see what's happening with you right now. You may feel trapped, you may feel a lack of love, support. You may feel that things are not working out for you, that there is so much pressure for you to do something and to crack some boundaries and to go over some limits. And this is painful. And this doesn't seem to have much sense because those boundaries, they were your old home. And they have protected you so much. And you love them. But it is time for you to come out of that shell. It is time for you to remember that you are more than what you've been thinking. That you are more than you thought you were. That there is more for you out there. And you do not know the new you because you do not see the new you inside the egg. You can't see much. You just see that you're too big to fit in there. That you right now, you're too big for the old you, for the old protection shell, for the old home. You can feel that. You can feel that crackling, that pressure to emerge, and that pain of leaving behind something that was your home. So this new perspective is waiting for you. And by you changing the way you feel right now about the pressure, the prison that you feel you're into, the limitations that you've reached, and you now remember that you need to crack open, the voices or the encouragement that you can feel and hear from the other side, which are not illusions. All of these things. You need to consider them and change the way you see all of this. What's happening in your life, it has a different meaning than you right now think. Okay, now let's go and see the cards. And we have the Four of Cups and the Ace of Cups. And I'm just gonna let this come out as it is, and then I will clear things up if there is a need for that. So here you are in your shell, waiting to be opened up, dreaming about a world that you do not see or feel or think about yet. Here you are dreaming the new you, the you that you've not yet met, the you that is in there emerging, pressuring you to let go, to accept the pain of the pressure, the push that you feel, to let that guide you, to be open to what you are receiving, to the new spiritual realms that you are invited in, because you've received an invitation. And the invitation is there for you to remember that you are more than the limits that you see, than the persona that you see, than the face that you see in the mirror, than that being that you have constructed so far with the help of others. That you are now ready. You are ready. You do not need support and love. You have it, but you cannot yet access it directly. It is a dream for you yet. It is there guiding you. Let yourself be guided. Let yourself welcome in the new world, the new sensations, the new ideas, the new dreams, the new you. Let yourself welcome in more, because there is more out there for you. You are now trapped in this apathetic state, saying, "This is it for me. There's nothing more." But there is. Even when we think there's nothing more, there is. And when we think there's nothing more, it is because we have reached a limit. A limit, a shell that we need to crack open. We need to crack open. And I feel so much resistance, because you're resisting the idea to crack this open. You feel this as aggressive, as too much, as something painful. You consider this to be harmful for you and against you somehow. You consider this to be not what you desire right now. You would like to go back to the little embryo you were, so you can feel at home again, so you can feel at peace again inside your own shell. But the thing is, the world for you as it was, it is finished right now. You have consumed all of the resources of the embryo. You cannot support yourself here in this environment, in this shell, in the old you, because there are no more resources. This is why you feel that there's no support and love, because there isn't. But there isn't for the old you. For the new you, there is a lot of support. So if you connect and change your perspective, the way you see things, what's happening right now in your life will feel completely different than what you are seeing it right now. So you can see yourself here with this new life coming towards you. This new vision, the new resources who are limitless. And all you need to do is accept the process through which you're going right now, even if it's not comfortable, even if it is painful, and to change your perspective on what's happening so you can open up fully to this new life being offered to you. Now, this is something as a deep process, spiritual process, that you are accompanied into, that you are supported by your divine team. And you will feel them and their support and their love if you connect with this new invitation. If you realize what is happening and you connect to a new perspective, a higher view, to understand all of this. And as you connect to that new perspective, you start to crack the shell open. And yes, that will probably bring some tears. That will probably change many things in your life, like maybe your intentions for the future, your dreams for the future will change. Because a change like this, when you are invited into a new world, and practically you are invited to be like a new embryo in a new, bigger shell. So there is a bigger shell for you to grow into. You're not without protection. It's just that protection, love, and all of the other resources lie beyond the current limits, the current shell. So as you step into this new life, you become like a baby, like an embryo, and you will receive and absorb all of the new resources. And those resources will not come from the same sources as before. So you may need to invite new people in your life that are living already in the new shell to help you and support you, and they will be there for you. You can call them spiritual parents. They will be there, so you are helped and loved to grow into this new shell. And they are waiting for you. You're not alone in this, because I see that there are many eggs in this basket. So you're doing this in a group. But you cannot use the force of the group to crack your own shell. That's your job. That is what you need to do. Nobody else can do that for you. And if someone else would actually do it, it will be detrimental, because it can injure you. It can cause harm, injury, and much more pain to be helped in this situation. So this is why this is your job, to crack open those shells. And I feel the pressure, and I feel that you need to also learn how to breathe, so you can facilitate yourself this process inside of you. To not rush it. You don't have to rush through this. To crack open immediately, because if you crack open the shell immediately, you're not ready to live in the other shell. It will be very difficult for you to live. It's like a premature baby. You will need too much help. So take your time with this. Now let's go and see what's important in this process for you and what it is not important. And we have the Pandora's gift and sacred divinity. There are two paths ahead. So this is what is important. Let's see what's not important as well. And we have release the dark wound, let love live, and clear and activate, create sacred space. Okay, now let's see what is important for you, what's not important in this process. Yes, there is a lot of pressure, but as you go through this, the pressure will start to be, well, higher and higher, but you'll start to accommodate to it and to push through with more power and more strength. So here the important things for you are to realize that there is hope outside those bounds, that things are not as bad as they seem, or are hard or as difficult or as impossible, but that there is always some hope. Now Pandora is the one that has access to all of the gifts by accepting all of the risks. So this is what's important for you to know right now, that all of those difficulties and the pains through which you are going, so you can crack open your limits, your shell, are worth the time, the energy, the pain, the suffering, the struggle. because you will receive so much more after you go out of this shell. And protection, it's not what you are thinking right now. You need to kind of change your perspective upon limits and protection. Because right now, as you need to come out and crack open the shell, the new limits will help you, the old limits will hinder you. And this is the two paths ahead. So you can see both. So you can remember that there is a moment in which some protection that has helped you is no longer needed, and that you need to let it go and accept the risks, even if you don't know the consequences of doing all of this. To accept the pain and the suffering, while you remember that there is always good and bad in everything, that there are together these two paths. It's not just one, because when we think it's just one, we are in one of those extremes that I have mentioned in the beginning, either in the overly optimistic, blinding extreme, either in the extremism of the negative, catastrophic view. So those two are the extremes of the situations. You can see both at the same time, but they are usually not so helpful. So by you remembering that sometimes pain is what you need, so you can have the courage to break through some limits, so you can have the motive to break through those limits. So you get to remember that this protection needs to end, and you need to become larger, and you need to expand in your consciousness and in who you are, and you need to define yourself again, because when we are again a tiny embryo, we don't know who we are again. See, you get to the end of the growth inside the egg, and you know who you are in that egg, but you don't know who you are outside of the egg. So that's something you need to discover. And you will not know it until you take the risks associated with cracking the limits. And you remember that those two views go together hand in hand. And they are helpful. And by you trying to keep just the good or just the comfortable, you're keeping yourself trapped, imprisoned in that shell, never knowing what's outside, never opening to a new you, to a new way of living and feeling and being. And what's not important for you right now is to rush this process. We see here release of the dark wound. The dark wound mentioned here in this oracle card is about us always trying to be perfect and always trying to go from one place to another really fast. Like, for example, if you want to write a book, you're already thinking about publishers and deals, but you haven't written not even one word. So you go into the future too much and you forget about the process. And this is a dark wound here mentioned. And you need to let this go. And also, when we decide to be perfect, it means that we have a fixed image of ourselves and we try to keep ourselves in the bounds of that image. And the egg right now is your image, what you are inside the egg. And if you decide to be perfectly that, then you kill your potential. You kill who you can be before even cracking the egg. You kill the new you. And this is why here this dark wound needs to be released. And for you also to take it slow, because if we rush into cracking the shell, then again it is very difficult to live. You may kill yourself again, the new you, because you cannot hold or live in the new space. So you will need to go back to the egg again, and that is even more difficult because you will feel so trapped and so obligated to go back to the egg by the people, by all of the energy in the new world, the new shell, because they see that you're not ready. And you may feel punished, and you may judge yourself as not enough. But all that they want is for you to grow properly so you may be able to live and become something new. Clear and activate, create sacred space. This is also not important. Why? Because here, where you are now, clearing doesn't do you any good. In a way, in a perspective in which you try to clear out the pain, all of the things that are uncomfortable, because exactly those things are helping you crack the shell. And they are part of your process. Clearing can become like an obsession where we clear out and we disconnect from what we may become. Clearing can become a fault of perfectionism, where we try to remove everything thinking that it's garbage, when it is actually something that will foster new potential. And this is why in your case here, you don't need to clear out things. You need to work slowly to crack the shell open. And this requires determination. This requires some courage, a lot of courage, of course, strength, enthusiasm, because there's something new out there for you to live. There is so much for you to be and experience. So why wait so much and beat yourself up and judge yourself for not being enough, or for needing so much time to crack the shell open, or whatever, for not having the love, the warmth, the support needed? As I have mentioned before, you are the one in need to crack the shell, and for this, nobody can help you. So this is the important message about what's happening in your spiritual life right now. And your spiritual team is there with you, going through this process, waiting for you, encouraging, supporting you, loving you. But as I mentioned, you may see this in another way from inside the egg. You may not perceive their love as true love, because we may think that maybe they don't do enough for us. Why aren't you helping me break through this easier? Why aren't you doing this and this and this? Give me more love. And so on. We may see things in another way. And your divine team is there even if you think that way. Okay, they are not just there for show, or they're not gonna leave because you think in this way or because you have illusions. They know that you don't know how to be in the new world, in the new shell, in the new you. They know that. They don't have any negative thinking or judgment about you. They are just there waiting for you to realize this, to remember that you are more, to open up to this process, and to be at peace with yourself going through this, and to remember that they are always there helping you with love, tenderness, and dedication. Okay, beautiful reading here. Let's also find an affirmation for you, or maybe two, don't know. Let's see. Well, this one, yes, opening my mind. I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas. So I allow myself to see beyond my beliefs and ideas, no matter the outcome. Because from the egg, from inside the egg, life outside the egg may feel like fiction, may feel like a nightmare, may contain monsters, and so on. And this shell is a spiritual shell, a mental shell, and it is like a perspective shell as well. I feel that once you reach and understand that limit, you will open up to a higher connection to your divine team, to spiritual worlds, to spirituality in general. You will have more curiosity. Pandора's gift here is also this gift of being curious and going beyond your current beliefs and ideas, even if that is painful and if that may cause suffering in you. Let's choose another one. If that comes, of course. If it doesn't come, then it doesn't. And this is about forcing. So this is enough for you. I will just, cultivating courage. Yes, this is the one. In any given moment, I always know exactly what to do. Even if you don't know. You know you don't know, right? So even if you don't know what to do, you know. I mean, you can say, I know that I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna do whatever I feel in this moment. And you still know, right? Whatever you feel in the moment, that's what you do. So this is like the courage mantra to use in any given moment. I know what to do. So when you will crack open the shell, you will know what to do. It's natural, right? Like a baby coming into this world. They know what to do, how to be a baby. Yes, they are entering the world, getting to know their bodies and this world as well, and they're getting curious. And that's what's important for you, to be curious about the other side more, to get curious about it, and to realize that you may learn a little bit about what's on the other side through books, through readings like this, and other ways. Okay, now I've gotten to the end of this reading. I hope the message will be received with love and kindness, and that you open up to really listen and receive the message so that it may be of real help to you in your life. If you've enjoyed this reading, then go ahead and let me know in the comments about your experience. You are also invited to subscribe and click the notifications bell so you get notified as soon as I post something new. For those of you who are subscribed, thank you. May you be blessed with love, tenderness, and abundance in your lives. You can also come to the Telegram channel so you can get notified in another way. And I also invite you on my website to discover my other services if you are interested. Until next time, where I hope I will see you again, all of the best, love, and wisdom. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. You have chosen this purple agate. Now, immediately what I feel here is sensuality. I feel this desire to connect with someone in a sensual, intimate way and to attract people towards me or beneficial situations. I feel this openness and also this appreciation of sexual energy, this appreciation of showing your beauty to other people in a way that's beneficial for you and them as well, and also this incredible enthusiasm to be and to allow yourself to express, to allow this sexual energy to express. And I feel that you have entered into this feminine energy of being at ease with yourself, with your sexuality, with your creative power, and also with your senses, like how your body feels, how touch feels on your skin, the electric kind of connection. The magnetic kind of connection, that you've increased your magnetism to attract people and also beneficial situations in your life. Now, we will take a look at the vision first, then the messages from the cards. And in this reading, I am bringing forth messages from your divine team. This may be from your soul, from your spirit guides, from your star family, from your ancestors, and all of the beneficial influences in your life. Now, this is the message here represented by the two cards, but we will also see the message coming directly through other means, visions, clairaudience, and other senses. And I am speaking to you about other senses because you are opening up and you are considering more and more these invisible senses, which are not that invisible once you get to know them. Now the vision is as follows. What I see here is this nature scenery. I see a pond inside the forest. This is a jungle forest because I hear so many birds, so many activity in this forest, so many insects, butterflies, all kinds of life. And in this pond I see a lot of vegetation, green vegetation. The water is not as deep, so the water is shallow here. It's kind of about this high. That's all of the water that's there. But there is a lot of life in this water. Tiny fish, tiny other animals, and so on. And it is a quiet, peaceful place where it's not quiet, it is full of singing. But we usually equate quiet and silence with nature. Sometimes when we are in harmony, of course, and all of the environment and the birds and the animals and so are in harmony in that place, because if they are not in harmony, then we will feel it like a noise. So silence doesn't mean you cannot hear anything. Silence is harmony. It's a harmonious sound where you can feel peace, and where that silence helps you feel connected, helps you feel at ease, and helps you communicate with the other beings through the means of sound that you cannot necessarily hear, or sound that you can hear. You are being encouraged through this to find a place like this in nature where you can find this type of silence. So it's not necessarily quiet, but you feel that the birds, the plants are in a harmonious connection. That place can help you connect more with your divine team, with your soul, your spirit guides. This is why you're being invited to find that kind of place. The shallow water here is telling me that this place needs to also be simple. So you do not need to find a really spiritual place with deep waters. You don't need to enter the deep right now. This place that you are invited to find is a place to connect you in a simple way, in a way that is comfortable to you, that's not deep, that it doesn't require a lot from you, but only this type of joy in which you are invited to enter. And when you find this place, you will know, and this place needs to have a bit of water and vegetation and birds, all in harmony. And you will feel that silence that I am speaking about in that place, because you will be able to just sit there, contemplate and meditate, and the sounds will not bother you. They will not bother you, they will help you connect more with yourself, with your divine team, and understand how it is like to be in harmony What does it mean? What it is like to feel connected? What does that mean to you? So we see that you are invited to connect more with your divine team in this way, in this simple way, and also to find a way to connect to this realm and all of its options in this way. Why are you invited to find a natural place to feel this? It is because that natural place connects directly to the sexual sensual energy which is growing inside of you right now and desires to express. And because of that, you are called to a place like this. And you might even feel very sensual and sexual in that place. You might even have sexual experiences in that place which does not involve sexual intercourse or another person or another type of stimulation of your body, but only feels that way. You feel that incredible pleasure in your body just by being connected with that place, with that harmony, and with your divine team. And you're opening up to these experiences, to these pleasurable experiences, because life doesn't need to be hard. Life doesn't need to be difficult all of the time. So you are invited to find easiness. And by connecting with a place like this, you will find ease, peace, and pleasure. And this will nourish you in a way that no other being can. Of course, you will find people who will help you also connect to this type of energy, but they will be like another type of experience. This type of experience is different, the one that I have just explained to you. And you're invited into that. Very, very beautiful image and message. Let's go now and see the cards. And we have the Five of Swords and the Princess of Swords. This is reversed. I will just remember that as I read this. Or just let the messages come and then we will discuss about them. You know that you judge your energy so much that sometimes you cut yourself off and disconnect from the source of this creative energy inside of you. And that cut, those cuts, you can feel them as pain. And you can also feel them as feeling lost, disconnected, abandoned, and suffering. And you can also feel them as intense judgment and punishment, where you go and speak badly about yourself. Why? Why do you need to speak those words against you? Why do you need to sacrifice your peace so you can have all of that conflict? Why? Is that familiar to you? Is that bringing you something you lack? Maybe you lack agitation and disconnection because that disconnection connects you with other disconnected people. So in your life, when you find that you are disconnected, look around you. Where are you? What kind of place are you in? What kind of people are around you? What kind of work are you doing? Are you totally in a disconnected environment. Just think about that when you speak badly about yourself, when you put spells on you, when you curse yourself, because you do that often. And there's a habit inside of you of cursing yourself all and all with everything and about everything, of judging yourself to be less and to be sinful, to be punishable, to be worthy of being punished for just being yourself or feeling pleasure, for just desiring to feel joy, for just desiring to be at peace with yourself in certain conditions, for just desiring to say no to abuse, to abusive people, or to people who do not have your best interest in mind. And also, there's a tendency for you to believe those people when they say what they say, and to repeat those spells inside of your mind, and to repeat them and to put them on repeat, like you're always connected to those types of spells, detrimental spells and curses. So you're kind of in this spell of dismissing yourself and not allowing yourself, obligating yourself to do things that are not in alignment with you and that make you feel defeated without any power, without pleasure, without access to joy and life and purpose, without access to harmony and silence, without access to being sexually active and engaged and sensual and attractive and beautiful and magnetic. You know, it is time to cut all of these things down without mercy. Look at the weeds that have grown in your mind. They need to be cut down, all of them. You know the place that I have invited you into? That place did not have weeds that were out of place, that were taking over, that were conquering everything and consuming the energy of the place. That place had vegetation, but they were in harmony, living, growing together, beautiful flowers, useful vegetation, not weeds. So your divine team is inviting you right now to cut down all of the weeds in your mind, so your mind may become like that place that I have invited you in. You can actually use this image to create a safe place inside of your mind. So you can go there and clean your mind from it. Just imagine this harmonious place where you feel at home, where you feel that the sounds are not noise but silence, where everything feels in harmony and everything grows with a purpose and they are arranged in a harmonious way, beautiful, very beautiful. Just feel yourself in that place, looking into the clear water with some leaves on it, but you can see yourself clearly even if the water is not deep. Even if you don't need to go deep here, you can still see who you are as a human, without judgment, without desire to dismiss the human and only accept the divine. Because your divine team is here to tell you that they accept the human, that they love the human, that they desire for the human to experience life, and that this is very important as an experience. You are important as an experience, whatever you may think about you, however you may judge yourself, however you may think about yourself in the world. Maybe you don't have fame, good position, money. That doesn't matter for your divine team. You, as an experience, are what they desire. You, as an experience, are their purpose here. You are the divine purpose in their minds. You are important. Now, you may have other purposes, missions here to do or whatever, but you are reminded through this message that for your divine team, you are the purpose. There's nothing more important than you, and whatever you desire to experience, that's their goal, to help you. And you don't have to keep yourself in a box, in a shell, on a shelf, trying to be extremely spiritual. That they wanted to experience life and all of its pleasures. That they wanted to be who you are and who you desire to be, and that they wanted to go towards your desires and be true to yourself. Be truthful to yourself that you are experimenting. That those experiments are okay and they are desired by your divine team. That those experiments are not a punishment for you, that you're not being punished, and that you're not going to be punished because you desire joy, pleasure, and experiences. Yes, there will be consequences, but the consequences are something that your divine team also desires to experience. Those consequences are another important experience that you are invited to accept. All of your struggles, they are an important experience for your divine team. All of your experiences, desires, they are important. So I feel that you have been disconsidering them with all of those judgments that I've spoken about before. And here you are invited to be truthful. You desire something, go for it. You wish something in your life, then ask yourself, how can that come to be? How can I accomplish that? And you will start to be supported. Question all of those judgments. Instead of letting those judgments question you and your desires, just tell them, you know what? I am gonna question you. What are you doing here? Why are you judging me? Who are you to tell me what to do and what to desire? Why are you thinking you're going to influence my choices? Why? I have been letting you do that, but right now I'm starting to question your interests, your desires and your presence. I'm not feeling welcoming in your regards. So here's the door. You cannot go out, you can leave me. Leave me. I'll figure out my life. I just don't need you anymore. I'm questioning your validity, your value. I don't see you as valuable anymore. Judgments, people who judge me, whatever you think. You can go and shut the door. You can go out the door, You don't have to sit here with me if you don't like it. So this message is really interesting and also funny, as this energy of expression, of creativity is flourishing inside of you. It is demanding to all of those who judge it to go fly hike, to go wait, I can't even speak. I'm entering this. This is so beautiful. The energy, it's so beautiful when you connect with it and you don't judge it anymore. And I know I've spoken in a strange way the last words, because it is also this desire to play here. And all of those judgments, people, ideas, they can do whatever they want, but not with you. You have a choice here. You have a choice to clean your mind of all of these things that are keeping you from your experiences. And now let's see what is important in your spiritual path and what's not important. And this is what's important, this is what's not important. Let's take a look at both. And important, awakened spirit and visions of life beyond death. Whew, this is pretty powerful here. Visions of life beyond death and an awakened spirit. We see that this energy here is awakening inside of you so much more, so much life. Life beyond death. That is also connection to your past lives, to your future lives, to your potential, to who you are in such a deep way. Trust your visions, trust what's coming towards you, trust this desire to change and whatever those desires are bringing into your life. Trust this process, because it is a process of awakening this creative, beautiful energy inside of you. And it is this process of becoming more wise, of becoming wiser and awakened to something more than you can see right now. Yes, because the judgments need to just go out like that candle and stop influencing you, as they're not a beneficial light, they're just a false light. And what's not important is every journey starts with a single step, and guardian, guard your energy. So we see that it is not important to guard yourself and protect yourself from this awakening energy inside of you. Because this wolf here is that judgment, those voices yelling at you, don't do this. because it is so, because it will bring that, because it will do this, because people will see it like this, because you will blah, 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 blah. And they're trying to guard you from your experiences, from your desires, and also from your inner truth. Because if you're true to yourself, you will see that those experiences and desires and that energy is there, is willing to help you become more creative and wiser in how you use your energy. Because if we do not know how to use our sexual and creative energy, then others may know, and others may influence and take that energy and use it in ways that we do not even imagine. So here, those spells that I've spoken about, that you constantly put inside your mind, need to be erased, need to be liberated from your space. They are this guardian here, which are guarding the creative energy inside of you and which are restricting you. They are restricting you from your truths, because this here, these spells and thinking patterns here are also keeping you from seeing the truth of who you are, of your desires, of your potential, of your creative energy, and how your creative energy was used up to this very moment. Because by those spells, you are also just giving up energy in all of the places that were not beneficial to you. And these guardians here are not beneficial because they are keeping you from seeing those detrimental places in which you have implicated your creative energy and all of the judgments put on top of that. And here is also not useful for you to keep this baggage, at the start of your new journey here, to become wiser in how you use your energy, in how you see things, and also into awakening this creative energy and change. You don't need this baggage here. Now we see that you've been carrying this suitcase full of things that are not of use to you anymore. You're naked here. Look at this. You're naked here, looking forward to this expression of sexual energy, of creative stance, of really feeling the sensuality and the pleasure of your body. And all of these you're still carrying with you. And this is like the wolf is inside this bag here, always howling at you. You're naked. How can you do that? How can you do this and the other? Aren't you ashamed? Well, that shame is not appropriate in your case. It's not something that is useful. It's like a punishment. It's like a punishment upon your body, upon yourself, and upon your future. And you're constantly telling yourself that you cannot do this. These voices are telling you this, but you think that these voices are part of you. And of course you have identified with them for a while. This is why you're still carrying this suitcase. But it is time to let them go. This man here is also naked. So you are embracing this naked stance of your truth, of who you are, and you're at the start of this journey. You still have a baggage, but you are becoming wiser and wiser as you go through this. So what's important here is this awakening energy inside of you. What's not important? The past, these judgments, the spells, the baggage that you're still carrying. You still feel that this is important, but just think about it. What will happen if you don't believe these thinking patterns anymore? What could happen? You will start to feel the joy to experience all of those things that you wish to experience. And you will not feel punished anymore. Oh my God, you will not feel punished anymore. Whew! Isn't that amazing? Just think about it. How it will be like to just let all of those thinking patterns go. Now you may just think that, well, I will become uncontrollable and I will do things I will regret later. And this is why I need the guardian to teach me. But the thing is, this guardian, those spells, they are not teaching you. They are not teaching you. If you desire to have a guide and a teacher, by all means, go towards one. They will help you. They will be of so much help. So this will settle that type of thinking. Now I am hearing, well, what if that guide is not appropriate and I will get distracted and my energy will be used inappropriately? Well, this is why you need to let go of the judgments here, because they are keeping you from seeing the truth and from finding that guide, the guide that will be of real help to you. See, there's a conundrum here. You keep this to feel safe, but they are actually keeping you from finding the methods to actually be safe and learn how to use this type of energy. Yep, there is a decision to be made here. And you will figure it out. You don't have to do that decision and take it now. Just take your time with this. Just let time help you. Be curious about all of this and work with it. And you will find that decision and you will find how to do this. Have confidence, because you will find how to do this. You are already on this path and you're not turning back. You've tried, and sometimes you think that you're turning back, but you're being pushed again, because this energy here, it's already activated and you're not going to deactivate it easily. And not, if you do this, try to deactivate it, you can, but not in a way of shaming, blaming, judgmental thinking patterns and all of that. Because you can choose to go in your own rhythm. You don't have to just surrender to this energy immediately. You can go at this in your own rhythm, but you're not going to help yourself by keeping these thinking patterns. The guide, if you find one, they will help you understand how to diminish this if it is too uncomfortable, and how to go in your own rhythm. And that will help you a lot more than suppressing things like you are doing in this current time. So this has been the message for you. May it be received with clarity, joy, and love. May you open up to proper integration, and may this work with you in your benefit. Now let's end this with an oracle card here. One or two. We will see. You are also invited to do more meditation, but in a natural place and in a natural way, not just sitting at home trying to not think. No. This is why you are invited to find that place. And meditation in that place means just sitting around there enjoying. Yeah, that's all. That's how meditation will be in that place. Come on, just show me one. Show me one. Oh, okay, that one. So we have deconstructing doubt. Only my beliefs are in my way. Well, this is clear, right? Only the beliefs and the spells are in your way. Just take them out of your way. Tell them to bugger off. To just leave you. Really. Take the stance, the courage. Okay, there are two here. We're going to take the two of them. Celebrating simplicity. I'm more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. Yes, just to let go of all of those thinking and enjoy more. Enjoy more your life. This is also this energy that is awakening in you. It's an energy of joy and pleasure. Enjoy more your life and whatever happens. Balancing the brain. I can be and do all at once. This is interesting. I can be and do all at once. I'm not going to explain anything about this. It's like a conundrum or a paradox that you need to contemplate on in that amazing place. Okay, now I have gotten to the end of this. If you've enjoyed the reading, let me know in the comments about your experience. You are also invited to comment, like the video, support this channel, share, for example. And if you would like to subscribe, then go ahead and subscribe and click the notification bell so you can get notified as soon as I post something new. If you have subscribed, then may you be blessed with connecting to your pleasure and joy and easiness in life. If you would like also to come to the Telegram channel, you will find the link in the description box, and you can also find other channels in the description box to connect with me. You're also invited to check out the website and all of the readings I offer in there. Until the next time, all of my love and wisdom. Hi Pile 3, welcome to your reading. You have chosen this flower jasper. What I feel here is a state of being distracted by the world, but also enjoying the colors, the different types of nuances of life and different states of just living. Desiring to connect more with life as it is and enjoying. But at the same time, this is also a state of escape. Escaping somehow the truths that are underneath this state. the uncomfortable states, and also something that you have uncovered inside of you and about the world. And this is something that has caused fear and the desire to walk away and leave this to the side for a while, so you can better understand it, and in the meantime just enjoy life. And that is okay. This is not something that you shouldn't do. This is part of your process, and it is okay to do this, to distract yourself for a while from something that you cannot yet understand or properly integrate, and is causing a great discomfort. So this distraction, it's okay for you right now. Just enjoy it. Just go with the flow, because that flow creates easiness and then unlocks certain things inside your body and also your mind, so you can better understand and integrate those truths and that perspective that you have received about life, about yourself, and about the other people, the community in which you live. So this is a normal process for you. There is some resistance there and some judgment that you are invited to just let go of. Your divine team is here to tell you that this is okay. You can enjoy life on the surface. You can enjoy this state of distraction, because this is beneficial for you right now. So in this reading, I am bringing forth a message from your divine team, and this can be from your soul, spirit guides, star family, ancestors, and all of the other beneficial influences in your field. Now let's go and see the vision that I have received for this pile, and then we will take a look at the messages from the cards. So what I see here is veils. So I'm looking at veils of many colors, different veils, fluttering in the wind. But they are all over my visual field, so I cannot see anything else but these beautiful veils fluttering and flowing with the wind. Now I'm being shown the way, so the veils are being taken from my view, and I can see a path. And it is a path which has candles on each side. It is actually a path made out of a kind of energy and also delimited by these candles. So there are two rows of candles and a path in between them. And now I'm following this path. It is a spiritual path because it's somehow in the clouds above everything else, and I cannot see the earth, nothing else but this path between the clouds. And there is a really beautiful light here. It is not burning my eyes or anything. It is really comfortable, beautiful. And I just keep going on this path. but right now I cannot see a place to get to. It is a long way. Yes, I'm still going on it and just nothing yet. Yes, so that's the vision here. And it has to do with the message I received earlier. The veils that we see here is the distraction that I've spoken in the beginning. And it is okay to be in that state. After a while, you will be shown the way. And the way will be very visible for you, easy to see. After all of these veils will be taken away little by little, with ease, with care. So you don't have to actually do something about the perspective or the truth that you have received, the information you have received, because the way will be clear after a while. And those beautiful veils, they will not hinder you. Just play with them. They are actually there to help you get in a proper state to see that path. And that path, it is part of your spiritual path. And it is something that will guide you for a while. And it will sustain you for a while. And the information that you've received, that information which is there in your field right now, downloading or already downloaded, will help you see this path clearly, will give you this gift of this spiritual path that will be visible for you. And I hear that you have been looking for this path for a while now. And this path has been somehow occulted from you, hidden. And the process you are in right now is the process in which this path will be revealed to you. And you start walking on it, being conscious of the path, seeing the path. Now you don't know where it will lead, and you will not know for a while, but you will be guided on it, you will be supported, and you will see it clearly. And you are kindly asked not to impose a finish line, a timing, or a goal to this path, but rather take it, work with it, enjoy it, walk on it, and you will find out while walking, while having this experience, where it takes you. So you will not know from the beginning what is this about, but you will know enough so the path becomes really visible and clear to you. And you will gather more information as you go. And the information will come to you faster. And the information will be of a higher quality. And there is actually no one to help you on this spiritual path but your divine team. So you are also asked to trust more in their guidance, and also to feel safe on this path, even if it takes you above the clouds. You know, when we fly or when we are above the clouds, we may not feel safe because we do not have the earth under our feet. And because we do not feel the earth, we may think we are uprooted, that we do not have roots anymore, that we're not stable, that we are unsafe. But our actual roots are in the sky, not necessarily on earth. Our body has roots on earth. We have roots in the divine worlds. So when you are asked to walk on this path, you may feel unsafe. Your personality may feel unsafe, but if you root your trust in your divine self, then you will feel another type of safety, one that the earth cannot provide you with, one that your body cannot provide you with. Nothing can provide you with that type of safety. That type of safety will also bring courage to confront things in your life that are difficult to bear, to see, to accept. You will feel ignited inside in a way that you weren't before. And that type of trust does not rely on exterior needs. And because it does not rely on exterior needs, you will no longer feel insecure in the world or insecure about your body or your physical safety in the same way. Of course, you may feel fear and physical insecurity, but that trust will prevail over the fear. Okay. Beautiful messages coming from your divine team. Let's also see the cards here, and we have the High Priestess and the Queen of Swords. And we see the veils here and the information. I will just let them speak to you some more. You are ready to receive this. Whatever you may think about you, whatever worth are you giving yourself, whatever value you are assigning to your soul and spirit, it doesn't matter. You will be shown. You will be shown your true value upon walking on the new path. You are being initiated into a mystery. And the mystery will not reveal itself to the current person. You will need to go through a journey in which you will be initiated by information that you've already received, and in which you will need to confront challenges and truths inside of you and conquer them and control all of the things that now seem out of your control inside of you, about yourself, not about the world. The world will not change, but you will. You will become something else. Right now, you will not know what you will be. But by going through this journey, you will find out. And this journey asks you now to welcome it, to realize that it is there, that you are ready, no matter what your ego might say, no matter how much insecurities you might still have. You are ready. And if you have resistance, you will feel it. you will feel that block inside of you, struggling, battling to keep you in the past or to keep you in your current vibration, that you will need to cut out from you, and that might hurt. But you will be given all of the tools to cut that out and to heal. And yes, you might need to accept that each step on this path will be new to you, and you will not know what the path is until you walk on it. Even the first step will be firstly unknown, and it will become known only after you take it. So you will be pushed because you have chosen. With the majority of your aspects to take this path, and it is here, the door is open, you are prepared right now to walk on it. So do not fear, although you can. Do not think you can escape this, although you may try. It is not something that you want to escape, but some aspects of you might become aggressive, belligerent, rebellious, trying to keep you away from the door, trying to become the path, trying to show you the path, lying to you because it is not in their interest to go on the path, because they will need to change and become something else. And although you may think that it is easy for you, for those aspects it is very hard. If you connect with them, you will feel their difficulties. You will feel their fears, their problems, their issues. But to solve their issues, we invite you to connect with those aspects who are ready. Because there are more aspects inside of you who are ready. And those aspects will help and guide the others. And we will be with you each step of the way. But most of the time, you will not recognize us. You will not see us. You may barely hear us. Why? Because we need you to open up more your senses. If we speak loudly, then it will be easy for you to hear us. And you will not engage with opening up your senses, your intuition, your clairaudience, for example. Your magnetic manifestation attraction. So we will start to become silent, to speak softly, to speak with you just in the key moments and not every single moment. So you will be practically obligated to improve your intuition, your senses, your clairaudience, your listening, your discipline, your accuracy, your inner guidance. And through this, you will connect more and more with your soul, bringing more and more of it in your awareness, connecting, opening, being like a fertile ground for your soul to grow, to open up, and to mature. So we see here the message for you. Now we will take a look at what's important on this spiritual path and what's not important. And we have here what's important, and this is Kundalini rising. Wow! Heaven sent and Kundalini rising. Ignite your passion for life. And we have 22 and 33 master numbers here. Let's see what's not important as well. And we have legacy of light and living light energy. See the beauty in life. These are so similar, like these as well. We will see about their messages. And we have 7 and 7. Interesting. So these call to me more. What's not important here for you in this process is your past, your legacy. What you've already learned, what you have already, mastered in a way, what you have as an experience in this life, and also experiences from your other lives. Why is that? Well, they are important as bringers of wisdom, but right now this process you are in ignites your inner energy through the body. And this Kundalini rising doesn't start in the body, but it manifests in the body. And we see here heaven sent, because this is the message. The message that you've received now is heaven sent, but also that door, that path. You are being given a gift here, an initiation that you are invited to welcome in your life. And we see that the initiation has to do with your awakening, with the rising of the Kundalini energy in your body, which opens up the gates of the body so the soul can express more in this physical realm. So the gates of the body become attractive enough for the energy of the soul to come in easily. Through this process, the gates of the body rise in frequency and energy, and also they open more. So they receive the signal of the soul more accurately, and so they receive better connection with your divine self. And this rising is not just one time. This can be happening to you several times, because right now, the first gate, for example, all of the gates of the body will start to adjust to a new vibration. Slowly, slowly, each of them, they will rise and open more. And with this, you will receive those truths and those uncomfortable messages and also perspectives for you to integrate and adjust to. And you will be offered the needed time to do this. and it will take as long as it takes. Sometimes you make the necessary cleanings first, and then you can feel this process fast. Other times you just work with it as it comes. It doesn't happen so fast. And here for you, you've received like an opening of the gates, an update that is working with you right now already. And that preparation is about that. You are being prepared for the gates to open and adjust their frequency. And each adjustment will feel differently and will bring different things in your life as situations to solve. And it is important that you realize that this is a gift and an initiation for you. If you feel resistance, if you feel uncomfortable, you may feel this idea that you need to hide or run away, or that it is too much or overwhelming. You can just say this. You can just say this. Talk to your divine team and just ask them to harmonize with you, so it will be easier for you and your process. But be aware that sometimes you will need to go through certain situations that are more difficult, because otherwise these gates cannot open and you may not wind down the powerful expression of those situations in that moment. And here we see that the old vibration and also the connection with the energies that are outside of you, like all sorts of other initiations, like all sorts of other energy work, healing work, need to be put aside, because all of the energy work will influence this process inside of you, and right now it's not necessary or advisable to do that. Again, too much healing work or initiations in all sorts of systems, or working with other types of energies, may also influence what's happening inside of you. Even working with your past or working on your past in an energetic way to heal. So these things right now are not as important, because they will work with you through this process right now. And you are invited to connect with this initiation, and also more with your body, with your own energy, and not reach out to other energies, not even to nature. And also not to work so much or even at all with other energy systems that you may have invited or learned from your past. Because this upgrade is changing your vibrations in all of the gates of the body, and these energy systems or learnings that you have already known or learned here, they will not work in the same way. They may pose issues and unnecessary situations in your life. And this is why you are advised here to withdraw from those types of works for a while, even from meditation with other people, or groups where you go and you set an intention with a group, or you do a meditative work or a healing work with a group, because your energy needs to be isolated for a while. So not to connect with so many distinct things until this is stabilized more. So this is your message here. It has been a very clear message about your process and how to balance out in this process. Now we will finish with an affirmation for you, or 2 or 3. We will see how many will arise for you. Unhooking the past. There is nothing to regret when I learn from my past. There is nothing to regret or look in the past for now until you are more stabilized in your energy. So we see that the need of unhooking from the past and also from these energetical actions or habits that you did and that you know from the past. Let's find another one. Befriending pain. When discomfort becomes a friend, my most limiting beliefs are healed. So we see this need to become a friend with discomfort. As I have mentioned in the beginning, you will need to adjust more and more to the truths and the perspectives about you and about the world, and find out how to work with pain and discomfort. I feel to choose another one for you, and it is this one. Sharing shame. When I share my deepest pain, I give myself permission to be. And sharing your deepest pain, it doesn't necessarily mean that you should go out and just find someone to unload all of your pain onto. It means to share your pain with you, because most of the times we do not even share our pain with ourselves and with our divine team. And we do not give ourselves the permission to be in pain or to be in shame, to just feel all of those things. So this is part of your change and of your process. This has been the message for you. I hope you receive it with love and care, and you open up to the possibility of harmonious integration, and you open up to make this message applicable and useful in your life. If you've enjoyed this reading, then go ahead and let me know in the comments about your experience. You are also invited to like this video, to subscribe if you haven't already, and to click the notification bell to be notified as soon as I post something new. For those of you who have subscribed, all of the blessings to you. May you have abundance and joy in your life. You are also welcomed on the Telegram channel, link in the description box, where you can connect in another way and also receive notifications about what I post here or on my website. I also invite you to check out my website and all of the readings that I offer in the shop. Until the next time, may you feel the love that your divine team has for you and the wisdom that is available for you. Hi Pile 4, welcome to your reading. You have chosen this serpentine. Immediately I feel such an enthusiastic force for life. A push to go in a certain direction, to actually take a step. The first step, it doesn't actually matter the direction. Just as long as you move. I feel that you're stuck, but the state is that of enthusiasm. You desire to move. You are enthusiastic about the future, the next things to do, but you may have a lot of options in front of you. So which one to take? The answer coming for you here is it doesn't matter. As long as you go towards something that is exciting and you feel it in your heart, that is passionate, or that arises this fire inside of you, that's okay. As long as you choose with your passion, with your heart, and also with your head, then things will be okay. So right now, the choice is actually easier than you think. You just need to take a step towards something that you like or feel passionately about. And that is all. Just choose and go for it. Now I see that there are also people pushing you in all sorts of directions here. And also attracting you, like come here, no, come here. Or go through there, go to the other way, and so on. They are trying to help, some of them they are trying to hinder, some of them they just want to help themselves in some way. There are a lot of voices trying to get to you, but your voice here is not heard. This is why from your divine team you are getting this message that you need to go towards something for which you are passionate about, for which you feel in your heart that it helps you, that it brings you joy, that it is okay for you to do. And keep doing that, no matter what the other voices are saying. They don't matter in this. The world doesn't matter in this. It shouldn't have so much impact on you or on your choices. And you may not know which one is a choice that you would actually make with your heart and soul, and which one is just guided by the other people. Some people may also guide you towards those options who feel right to you. And this is why you may feel confused here. But if you let go of all of the other voices, and if you admit that some people may actually guide you towards the options that you like, so you don't need to disconsider all of the things that they say, but let them go without attachment to them and just see what you feel in your heart. And you may do this exercise for 2 weeks, for example. Just let go of all of the opinions, and also you can tell them, please, I do not need for now your opinion. When I will ask for it about this issue. But for now, please respect my boundaries, because I wish to understand what I truly like, and I wish to guide myself. So this is an example of how to speak to people, so they feel okay, so they get to not feel upset about this as well, so they can support you, or so they can show you that they don't support you, so you know who they are and what influence they bring in your life. Okay, so we see this direct message here. In this reading, I am bringing forth messages from your divine team, and this may be from your soul, your spirit guides, your star family, your ancestors, and other beneficial influences in your life. And we are taking a look at the visions, and then we will also hear the messages coming from the cards. And I have a vision for this pile, and what I see is a path. This is like a street, but what I see on the sides of the street are all sorts of buckets and recipients, different types, sizes, baskets, natural ones, synthetic ones, metal ones, all sorts of baskets, but they're empty. All of them are empty. And there is no sun here, so it is just after the sun came down. There is still light. There's nobody here on the street. There's nothing else but the street and these baskets, and the street goes towards a hill, and I cannot see anything after the hill, because the street goes down again, and I'm not actually walking on the street. I am just sitting here looking at it. I'm stuck, just like I saw in the beginning, because I don't know where to go. Yes, there is this big, large street, because it is really big, but I cannot see anything in the baskets, and it is strange. It is really strange. And what I understand from here is this idea of you being distracted, wishing for a lot of things, filling the baskets with whatever you think in your imagination. They are there empty because you need to fill them up with your desires. But for now, you don't know your desires. And you try to imagine things, but you may imagine things that come from other people or from society in general. And this is why you're stuck here. You don't know what's good for you, what you really desire. You've been so confused by people in general, by society in general, and also hurt. And this is why you do not really know what's good or what makes you passionate, what brings you joy. You may know a few things, of course. So I am not saying that you don't know anything about what makes you joyful in life. But now you are looking for something more. And that is influenced by so many views and so many ideas that you do not quite understand or know which is that passion to follow, or that path, or that option. And this is why the message in the beginning was that you need to go towards that option, which will bring you passion and joy. But now I see that because you're stuck, you don't know how to walk this path, and you feel like you are in a sort of dark spot on this path. There is no sun and we are going towards the night. So you're trying to imagine things, but you don't know yet. And there are so many influences keeping you stuck. And all of those empty baskets. You see, you have many options, but all of those options right now make you feel empty because you don't know the passion in them, and if that passion is yours or somebody else's. So this is quite an interesting message. And also vision. Also vision. And the state here is one of enthusiasm, but also sadness in another way, because you feel yourself stuck, resistant, and also I feel you have experienced many things that were not your joy or your passion in the end. You were excited at first, but then they proved not to be what they seemed in the beginning. And this is also a part of your confusion here. Because you've gone through this, now you're really wondering, well, what is actually what makes me joyful? What brings me real passion? That type of fire that is eternal, that can drive me forward my whole life. You are in an impasse here. And this is a good impasse because you've gotten to the awareness, to the awakening, to the fact that you need to find out what is that passion that is eternal. What is that thing that drives you inside of you? And the baskets are empty because you may know in your subconscious already that it's not necessarily the option that brings you joy, or that experience, or the work. It is something inside of you that you need first. And that something inside of you will then help you bring about the option that will be loving to you. That option that will help you and support you and bring forward your gifts. And this is where you are now in your spiritual path. And your divine team is there with you, encouraging you. And this is also a message for you to be encouraged, because you get to understand where you are. And because you will know more where you are, you will get to understand how to move forward. Because you are being encouraged so loudly. Like, hey, you can do it. You can understand this. It's okay to walk this path without actually choosing for a while. It's okay. And you can choose when you know what's in your heart. You can choose better then. And it will be something that feels different from before. It will feel like an inner assurance, safety, security, certainty, and love. You will feel attracted in a certain way to that option. But first, there's something inside of you that you need to open up to and discover. So you get attracted to that option because it's not the actual option that will bring you satisfaction, but that fire inside of you. Now let's go to the cards, and we have the Three of Swords reversed and the Ten of Cups. And I will just let the messages come directly, and then we will speak further. I cannot get to put this in the right position so you can see them on the camera. So you're trying to put yourself in a different position so you can better see what brings you passion and joy. And that is a part of your path here. Instead of moving onto the path and choosing, you're sitting in place and rotating so you can see better. So let go of the choices you have made in the past and all of the mistakes. Learn from them, but do not choose from them any longer. It is okay to let go the people, their influences, their thoughts. It is okay to understand that they have not been helpful. It is okay to see all of that misunderstanding, all of the misguidance, all of the ego, and all of the mistakes you have made in your past choices, and to be courageous about your challenges, to be courageous to take the hard decisions of cutting all of those opinions and all of those thoughts that are sabotaging you, and to grow in your mental clarity, to bring more understanding and to go beneath the surface, to let go of the surface and to look deeply within, and to put the proper boundaries and to cut all of those weeds inside of your mind, which are now useless. Those weeds inside of your mind are opinions, thoughts, ideas, past mistakes, so-called wisdom from mistakes, so-called ideas and conclusions that have been misguided, that are not the actual truth, and to let the truth open up to you, because the truth goes deeply. It's not only the surface. If you get to see the surface of your options, then you will not see everything. And this cultivates misunderstanding. And this makes the options look better or worse than they are. So you are invited here to analyze and improve your discernment and to look under the surface deeply so you can find the true information about those new options, and also so you can cut away all of the influences, the thinking patterns, the sabotaging thoughts that are keeping you in the past and also without new options. And see that the world the exterior world. It's not enough for you to understand the meaning of things and the passion of things, and for you to understand more. You need to go deeply, because there is inside of you the joy that you're looking for, and also the dream that you're looking for. But the dreams of the world may be outdated for you. You see here, this is like a dream. The beautiful castle, the beautiful ladies here living in the castle, the rainbows, the fruits here. This dream, the dream of your life, the dream that you have now about your life, your goals, are no longer in sync with yourself. And they have been like a dream, a fantasy. This is a fantasy. And you need to get out of the fantasy and see reality as it is. And then you will find that passion inside of you. And let go of being overly optimistic or overly negativistic. Overly negative. Because those things are extremes and they are not useful for you to know and reach your passion. So we see here this push to look for the truth under the surface, but also to look for the truth beyond the dreams and the fantasies and the illusions of the world. This is your message here, to look further, to look deeper, to look away from the world and deep inside of you for that passion, for that spark, for that light, which is your soul, and to draw from it, to let that guide you. And not the opinions of the world and the people, and not the dreams of the world, and also the dreams of society, and also the fantasies that you may have seen on television, or the fantasies that you may have created to follow, to pursue. What I'm seeing here is also cartoons, because in cartoons we were given some kind of dreams to search, to hope for. We were kind of being programmed in a certain way, to look at life in a certain way. We were given fantasies about the world, and also in movies as well. And what I feel here for you is that you've made those fantasies like your dreams, and you're trying to bring them to reality, but that reality, those fantasies, they are empty. There's nothing there for you. And somehow you know this inside of you, and that's becoming like a pressure inside of you for you to acknowledge and get out of. And as soon as you let this go, real life will amaze you with how many options you have. And this doesn't mean that those cartoons or movies do not have some real things in it. So don't dismiss everything. Again, don't dismiss everything. There is truth in all of the things, just as there is lie. This is why here you are called to go deeply and remove all of those lies, sabotaging thoughts, and let go of the fantasies. So you get grounded more into this reality, as painful as it may be sometimes, but the actual dreams happen here. not there in the fantasy lands, here. And if you're not grounded here, your goals cannot manifest because you're trying to manifest something in a different world, not in this one. So by letting go of these fantasies and old dreams, although it may be difficult, somehow painful, disappointing, it will be a real moment of awakening for you. And after that, you will find that passion inside of you, even if it will take a lot to find it. And you will feel that enthusiasm, and your life will not feel the same anymore. You will find out that magic exists here as well, in this realm. But it is different. And that things can manifest really rapidly, but in a different way as well. All things are here, but they are accessed in a different way than in the fantasy. The fantasies are usually a simplification of what you can find here, and they can distract you, and they can hold these goals of yours into nothingness because they do not have substance. And this is what you need to gain here, substance. So you can put some substance into your dreams and make them manifest. Now you've received a lot of guidance here. So I kindly ask you to go back to the beginning after you finish this and listen again, to make this clearer for you. Now we will see what is important on your path and what's not important. And what's important is be the hunter, not the hunted, and ground your light, let your soul shine. And here we have what's not important: collaborative dreaming and dark night of the soul. Life brings new meaning. Interesting. So we see here the dark night of the soul, that dark path, and it was not scary at all. It's just a dark road, a bit darker, not like this one here. Because you find out the emptiness of these dreams. So this actual road in the vision, it doesn't actually matter, it's not important. Because it was empty. Those baskets, they were empty. And you were filling them with your illusions. At first, of course. But now you will find a new path to fill with your real dreams. So that dark path, don't just look at it. It doesn't matter even. And here we see collaborative dreaming. Now this says that you do not need to collaborate with the world to make your dreams, with society, with other people. Your dreams don't need to be the dreams of humanity. Your dreams don't need to be for everyone. Your dreams don't need to include everyone. Your dreams are your own. Of course, you can think about them to be in harmony with this realm and everyone in it, but this doesn't mean you need to include them in your dreams. And when you dream, your goals, your desires, you do not need to think for the whole humanity. Why is that important? Well, because dreaming for everyone brings you in this dark night of the soul, trying to fix the world for everyone. But the thing is, everyone doesn't see the world in the same way as you, and everyone doesn't have the same dream. So if you dream for everyone, you're kind of trying to fix their dreams and to make their dreams yours. And this is causing this dark night where you try to collaborate and make everyone happy. But this is not possible. Everyone is happy in a different way than you are happy. And by thinking about everyone, you're dismissing your dreams. Your dreams don't have to be for everyone. They are for you, for yourself. You make your own expression here and your own path, and that path is walked by you, not by everyone. Everyone else has their own path, and you do not have to walk their path as well. So you see, when you let go of the desire to dream for everyone, you let them walk their own path, and you permit yourself to walk yours. And you let go of this illusion about the whole humanity. We see here that it is important for you to protect yourself and let go of the opinions and the influences of the other people, because you know right now how to differentiate, how to understand, how to know what's harming you. Even if you don't know, you feel, because you don't know yet what is that greater joy and passion inside of you. But this doesn't mean that you don't know nothing about it, or that you cannot differentiate and understand the harmful thinking patterns or the opinions of other people who are not useful to you at all. You can see that, you can see it, and you can take this knowledge from your past, which is useful. And be the hunter, not the hunted. Well, this doesn't mean to go chase people or hunt someone. This here for you is to get out of being a victim, to get out of being overwhelmed by other people's opinions and wishes for your life and dreams, and also for the collective dreams. Don't be a victim of the collective dreams, of desiring the same thing for everyone. Because like this, you are victimizing yourself. And we also see that it is important here to ground your light, to let your soul shine by grounding, by letting go of the fantasies and grounding into this reality, even if it is hard, uncomfortable, or somewhat painful. To let go of seeing this as a dark night of the soul, as really painful to see what is the reality here. Because once you get accustomed to see, you get easier with yourself. You get kinder, you get more compassion for yourself and others. You let go of the dreams of the other people, of their suffering, of everything that influences you, their opinions, and you start to feel safe in yourself and connected. And once you feel connected with the world that you desire to bring here, with your experience, so not necessarily with everyone's experience. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're grounded if you connect with everyone's experience. Ground your light here means to bring your light into your body and out in the world so you can create your own experience and your own path. It doesn't mean to ground your light in the collective. It doesn't mean to ground your light in the collective dream and illusion. It doesn't mean to ground your light in the dreams of other people and their wishes. It means to ground your light in the vision and the world and the substance that nourishes you. That is all. And by doing this, you see the world in a totally different way. You let go of feeling like a victim, of other people's opinions and influences, of being so influenced that you don't even know what you truly desire. You let go of all of that and you become safe within yourself. And this is your message from your divine team. And now we will also choose a few affirmations. Oh, I guess it was this one. Welcoming surrender. There is no problem, only destiny being revealed. So we see here, there is no actual problem here. There's no dark night of the soul. If you wish to get out of it, of that dark road, you can. There's no problem, only destiny being revealed. Okay, let's find another one. Resolving anger. Conflict reminds me when I need more space for myself. So this is about the other people and their opinions, because inside you may feel this anger on yourself because you hear the opinions, the misunderstandings, the conflicts with the other people, but you do not care for your own directions and thoughts. And this creates a conflict inside. And when you are in that conflict, remind yourself that you just need space, that you just need to clarify your mind, to clear out all of the opinions, even what you think is your opinion, and just stay in that clear mind, stay in that empty space. Let's find another one. Soothing impatience. There's nothing to do but wait. Wow, there's nothing to do but wait. This is about what I've mentioned. The idea to just sit in the nothingness once you clear your mind, and to soothe the impatience, to let go in that space, to surrender so you get clearer messages. There is nothing to do in that place. Just wait for the clarity to come. And that may just bring many things to the surface, like anger or impatience. So this has been the message for you. May you welcome it with an open mind and an open heart, and may you integrate it in your own rhythm. May all of the details become clear to you. May the integration come easy. If you've enjoyed this reading, then go ahead and let me know in the comments about your experience. You are also invited to click the like button, to subscribe if you haven't already, to click the notifications bell, and to come to the Telegram channel where you can get notified in another way about everything I post. You can also check out my website, the articles there, and also the readings I have in my shop. If you would like a personal reading, then go ahead and find the link in the description box. Until next time, I wish you all of the best wherever you are. May you find the wisdom that your divine team is bringing into your awareness and the love that surrounds you.